Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being the music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Roger Waters, and that's Smell the Roses. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So I actually had no idea that Roger was releasing another album, and this single kind of came out of nowhere for me. It wasn't really on my radar. Although I've never personally followed Roger on his solo efforts, it does sound like a cliche sentiment, but I did enjoy his early Floyd work, as everybody on earth just about did at this point, and that remains some of my favourite material from the group. So shall we see what I thought of this brand new track anyway? Well, I actually thought it was fairly good, and it definitely carried a strong old school progressive vibe to it. I really enjoyed that factor about it. The bass in particular is a shining light for me, as it's kind of funky whilst also having this classic rock twang to it, with a couple of decorative descending sequences thrown into for fun towards the end of multiple bar sequences and during transitions. The track also shows a great range in atmospheric qualities, sometimes coming across as straight up experimental, other times as classic rock, maybe even a couple of phrases that are a little folkier thrown in some areas, and also a distinct vintage electronic flavouring is also thrown into the transitions in particular, just to keep the experience ever changing. And I guess it gave it more of a replayability factor because you spotted different things on the re-listen. I think that's always a good thing for a track like this to have. It's not the most exciting track, and there aren't any sequences that cut through and really had me stunned or tapping my foot or anything like that, but it is well written and it is well performed, and it is still a good time. Production wise, I actually think the track is really well mixed. The bass is deep and wholesome whilst keeping a funky twang, hence filling that low ground with personality and character. The guitar tones are a little bit subdued, with only a slight overdrive being put upon them, which is really only recognizable on those descending bars, as I've already mentioned. It's subtle, but it actually does the job fairly well. The electronic elements sound fantastic though, and again they are a little bit subtle, but they add some really interesting timbres into the mix right when you need them, right when the track was beginning to become a little bit dry, in my opinion. I think the post-production effects as well also work to create a bit of an eerie slash unpredictable atmosphere, which I've already mentioned slightly before in this review. It would have been easy to go over the top with these effects, and they often are with the older groups coming back at the moment, but as far as I'm concerned, I actually think they've been carried out brilliantly. It's been really well mixed. The vocals are also well gated, but a little too quiet for me in the mix overall, and that might be down to Roger's voice beginning to fade a little bit, but all in all this is a really good production cycle. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I actually think it's really strong on paper. I think the verse routines and progressions are groovy yet a little muddy, and also a little bit metallic as well, a little bit gloomy I guess. They are very varied and very exploratory. I think the chorus is a little subdued and laid back, but again it does the job in forcing the theme set out at the start, and the title hook was the driving force behind that, and I enjoyed that as well. I think the bridge sounded great with these fleshed out instrumentals and well incorporated timbres just to evolve the piece a little bit further. But my problem with it, and I know this will sound stupid and it might just be me being a little naive, but it's just not that catchy I guess. There isn't a single sequence or phrase outside of the bass line that really had me humming along, and I think that makes the track a touch forgettable perhaps. It does all the right things, and there's nothing here which I class as a flaw or as a fault, but I guess it's just preference stuff, and I think that might be letting me down a little bit reviewing it. Lyrically, we don't actually get all too much to look at here. I think most of the lines are actually down to individualized interpretations of you and I, and their collaboration with the instrumentals as well. I think it would be a bit unfair to really scrutinize the lyrics without looking at the instrumentals. They are set there for the melody. But for me, I did find the track's lyrics a little bit safe and a little bit typical. There was nothing really there of value for me personally, but all in all it's definitely a good track, and I think fans will really appreciate the work gone into this one. It's just more of the same really. Perhaps for people like me and other casual listeners, there might not be enough there to really pull you in when it does come into terms of memorability, catchiness, and just yeah, I guess it's a difficult one for me to really summarize and comment on, but I gave it a G rating which is well above average, and that's 6.5 out of 10, so it's in that good category. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, comment what you think in the comment section down below, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.